Hey, Sly. So obviously, everyone knows kind of your backstory and your rise to through community college and everything to the NFL. What's been the sweetest part about this second, maybe improbable story, if you will, of you getting back to Denver and here being a contributor here once again?
I think really just the opportunity to be back. Be around family. I consider everybody in the organization family. Just being back. Like I said, being around family and essentially being able to be home is a good feeling.
And when you look back on your first stint with Denver, winning the Super Bowl and everything, is there anything that stands out, or is there really kind of no time to be nostalgic and reminisce because of the job you got to do in front of you?
I think you kind of said it best. Obviously, that was 2016 when we won the Super Bowl. So that was quite some time ago. And obviously, I think it's a whole new team. We building a different culture here. So I think it's looking forward to the opportunities that we got here and moving forward. I'm excited to be back and hopefully just hope I contribute as much as I can and we can have a good second half of the season.
Thanks for trying.
Sly, great to see you, my man. It's great to have you back.
It's good to see you too, man.
So what kept you going when you were kind of bouncing around? I mean, you could have retired maybe. What kept you going, continuing this dream? And do you think there's a place in the NFL for experienced guys on the practice squad going forward to give guys a chance to kind of have a second chapter of their career?
I think the biggest thing that I would say kept me going is obviously the love I have for the game. And, this game of football, it's done a lot for me in my life. It's put me in a lot of great positions. It's blessed me a lot. So, obviously when looking at the options to walk away from the game or continue playing, I just look at it as I felt like, I still had something to give to the game. Given that it had given me so much, I just didn't want to walk away and then look back and feel like I could have kept playing and lead too early. And as far as the practice squad, I think it is a good opportunity because you got guys out there that's continuing to stay in shape, continuing to stay ready, and just looking for opportunity. And, it's some experienced guys out there that got the ability to still play. So it gives you the chance to come in, get on a practice squad and, work your way in and get another opportunity. So I think it was great that obviously the injuries is a tough part, a lot of injuries this year in the NFL, but I think it was good for a lot of guys to be able to continue playing, including myself.
Next one, Mike Kliss.
Yeah, Sylvester, good to see you again. I was wondering what your reaction was when Aqib Talib, is going to be a broadcaster here for NFL game this Sunday. Did you ever in a million years, when you were his teammate, think he'd be a TV announcer?
I knew that Aqib is a very intelligent guy, especially football-wise. So I knew that he would have some involvement in sports, obviously broadcasting. I think it fit him perfectly. Obviously, if you look at, a TV analyst, a sports analyst, if you want to call it, he fit the description. I mean, you talking about a guy that was, had a Hall of Fame career, won a Super Bowl. I think he went to another Super Bowl or two more Super Bowls. I think he went to one in New England, and I think he went to one with the Rams. So you talking about had a great career, and you can't ask somebody that know more about the game than he do. So when you coming from a guy, I think Aqib is a raw guy, so he gonna speak facts and he gonna speak the truth and not from emotion. I think he gonna make a great. I'm honestly excited. I've been kind of following his little Twitter page that he got for his other talk show, and it's exciting, man. Like I said, I'm happy for him. That's a guy I know, man, a guy I consider a brother. And like I said, we got a connection for the rest of our life. We was able to reach the top together.
Next one, Arnie Stevenson.
Hey, Sly, welcome back. I have two quick ones for you. One is, can you just walk us through, the summertime when you learned that, they would have this extra practice squad guys, bring in some veterans because of this weird season, number one. And then number two, Von Miller wants to come back and still get some games in December. And I'm just wondering how cool would that be for you guys to be on the field together again if that comes to fruition?
This summer I kind of just stayed in shape. Obviously, I just stayed right mentally. I felt like I honestly didn't know about the practice squad situation until roster cuts started happening. and I had saw some veterans signed to the practice squad, and I was like, man, it was kind of threw me off a little bit. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I kind of got updated on what was going on, and that they was allowing veterans to go on practice squad. So I thought it was a unique opportunity. Obviously, I never thought that I would, end up on a practice squad because I didn't honestly know what was going to happen. I didn't know if my career was over or if I was going to get another opportunity. So I just kind of stayed in shape and just stayed ready. And God willing, I got a chance to come home, and I'm excited about this opportunity that I got, and like I said, the second half of the year is just going out there and being able to contribute and put as many W's on the board as we can. And as far as Von coming back, I mean, you look at it as, I want to say me and Von was the only two people on the Super Bowl team when we was here. So it's like coming back home and seeing him in the locker room, a familiar face. It was like almost like, dang, man, like I said, the injuries part is always tough, man. And we lost some big time guys here, man, to injury this year. Von being one of them. So if he get the opportunity to come back, man, if it was for, one game or however many games he come back, if it was for one snap, it'd be a blessing to be able to share the field with him again.
Next one, Brandon Cristal. Time for a few more after Brandon.
Sly kickers have feelings too, man. Don't let B-Mac hear you forgot about him as Super Bowl teammate.
I can't never forget about B-Mac, man. That's our player rep. We always got to have conversations with him.
So, he was obviously a part of that team too. But I'm curious, transition happened quickly. Practice squad, you're hoping for a chance. You know that injuries happen, to not only becoming active, but having to play a lot of snaps and with Shelby out. Have you taken on more of a responsibility as a veteran guy? Have you kind of flipped that switch quickly to tell these young guys, hey, this is how it goes, and impart your wisdom on them?
I feel like, when you come into an organization, I mean, you got to look at this, man. We Mike is probably one of the top run stuffers in the NFL, man, and I got a lot of respect for him. I'll actually watch him all last year. Me being in LA, I had a chance to watch a lot of them, and I was like, man, I had a lot of respect for him. So coming here, the opportunity to play with him, I was excited about it, and then obviously he went down and it was tough, man. And I was excited about the opportunity to be able to get back on the active roster, but I was torn apart about, what happened then, because he's a guy that truly, like, when you want to look at a guy that went out and took something, he the definition. And man, I got a lot of respect for Mike and Shelby as well. Obviously we're going to get Shelby back, but he another guy, man, that came from the bottom and one of the top players, defensive linemen in the NFL. So coming in here, I feel like, coming into this locker room, it's a new locker room, and they got a lot of good talent on the team. So I wanted to come in. I feel like in the NFL, the best way to go about, having a voice is through your work ethic, through the things you do on the field and off the field, the way you carry yourself. And then guys start to follow your lead and respect you for that alone versus coming in and being vocal. And me, I came in, what was it, week 4 in the season, later in the season. So it's like those guys had already had a culture. I just had to come and fit in and do my job and try to come in and say, okay, listen, I've been around this league a long time, and I'm going to do this stuff the right way. And obviously, if guys leaning in one way or another, we all need to get on the same page.
Next one, Zach.
Hey, Sly, welcome back. When you think about your time with the Broncos and facing the Raiders, what memories come to mind about playing the Raiders?
And I just know one thing about it. Going up to Oakland, that was my favorite place to play. Because one thing about the Raiders, you're going to be in the dogfight. Oakland, since I've been in the NFL, I think they going to come out and run the ball. And, they're a team that want to be physical. So it's a challenge for the D-line. And I feel like as a D-lineman, you got to look forward to that challenge and say, man, listen, at the end of the day, we got to go out here because we know they coming in here, average weight on the O-line, 340 pounds. We know we got to go to work. So it's an exciting feeling. And, like I said, going up to Oakland, man, Oakland is an old school football team. You want to go in there and get grimy. It's time to, put your hand in the dirt and get physical. And that's the type of game that, as a D lineman, you got to love.
Final two, Eric and Andrew.
It's like when you were a young player, first got drafted, how much did you have to learn what it took to win? And how much do you see guys like Draymond or DeMarcus or Deshaun Williams or McTelvin? Do you see them kind of taking those steps toward learning what it takes to win in this league consistently?
Absolutely. I was blessed. When I came into this organization as a rookie, it was already a winning organization. We had guys, Champ Bailey Vaughn, Peyton, we had guys that when I came in was already going about doing things the right way. So at that time when I came in, it was like, when you come in this building, this train moving full speed, so you either get on this train and go with us or you get off. And that was kind of the mentality that we had. Obviously it's a lot of young guys on the defensive line here that I think, are great players and will continue to be good players, and they go about things the right way. These guys hungry, man. That's the biggest thing. They hungry. And I see it every day in practice, and I see it in the game. That's why I'm so excited when a guy get a sack. I ain't get a sack. A guy get a sack, I'm excited because I know, like, obviously, this is a guy that's in year 1, 2, 3, or 4. He still got 5 or 6 years to improve and get better as a player. So I'm excited for him. And I would say they go about things the right way, man, and they work. And it's a good room to be a part of. We got a great D-line coach, so it's a good room to be a part of. And I think the future is bright for, honestly, everybody in that room. You look at guys, Mike and Shelby, if you want to talk about turning your career around, you look at a guy like Mike and Shelby and say, it don't get no better than that. So I'm going to jump in line and follow their lead, and that's how I'm going to make it in this league for, 8 to 10 years.
Sylvester, you've been in several different spots in the last few years. So from being around this team the last few weeks, what do you see in terms of the locker room culture and the culture that Vic Fangio is trying to build that maybe makes it look like it's going to work out for this team short and long term?
I think the biggest thing is, last time I've been around the NFL, this being my 8th year in the NFL, I think the biggest thing is, as a team, you got to be a family, and I think it starts there. And I think we've been in the family here, and I think the biggest thing, is about, obviously, being in the NFL, you got situations where, offense may struggle, defense may play good, defense may struggle, offense may play good. And at the end of the day, we got to compliment one another. And I do think, honestly, in my heart, I felt like, the Broncos got an opportunity to be a good team, now and in the future, because I feel like they got the right pieces. There's some good – I look at a guy like Chubb, man, and I think he in, year 3, and the way he carries himself every day. Even Simmons, I was here with Simmons when he was a young bull, and now he leading the locker room. So it's exciting to see they got the right pieces here. We got the right pieces here. So it's like I'm excited, man, to be a part of this. Like I said, I feel like, we got the opportunity to make a push the second half of the season because I feel like we got the right guys in the locker room. And I do feel like this is a good locker room. Obviously, the COVID, we so spread out, but we still close, man. I could almost name everybody in the locker room by name, and they can know me by name. That's just the way we communicate with each other and, go about being a family.